The bravest thing Tom Hadley ever did was finish a race he had no business starting. I knew Tom for close to 12 years before the Army took him. He grew up 4 blocks from me in Mill Haven, Ohio. Population 4,200, 1 grain elevator you could see from the highway, and a 4th of July parade that went down Main Street every year like clockwork. Tom always carried the flag at the front of that parade. Tall kid, broad through the shoulders. Dark hair, gone gray early from the sun, and worry. He had this way of standing still that made you feel like the ground was steadier just because he was on it. That was before Kandahar. It is a Tuesday morning in March, about 18 months after Tom came home. He is sitting at the kitchen table in his house on Birch Street when his neighbor Randy starts his old truck. The engine turns over twice, misses, and then backfires. One sharp crack. Tom is on the floor before he knows it. His wife Carol, 51, small woman with reading glasses she always wears pushed up on her forehead, comes around the corner fast. Tom, look at me. You're in the kitchen. You're home. He looks at the linoleum. His hands are flat on it like he is checking if the earth is still there. Yeah, he says. Just that one word. Yeah. She sits down on the floor next to him. She doesn't touch him yet. She learned not to touch him yet. They sit there together on the kitchen linoleum until his breathing changes. This is the part nobody tells you about. Not the coming home. The staying home. Tom deployed with the Army's 101st Airborne in 2019. He did 2 tours before the 3rd one caught him. A roadside device. 2 men in his unit didn't walk away from that road. Tom walked away, but only barely. And not for long. Shrapnel in the right leg. A fracture in the femur that the field surgeon described, according to what Tom told me later, as, and I quote, "Son, I've seen cleaner brakes on a car door." The doctors at Walter Reed were straightforward with him. They told Carol privately first, then Tom together with her in the room. The damage to the leg was significant. There was nerve involvement. They would work hard. He should prepare for a changed life. "What does changed mean?" Tom asked. "It means we don't make promises we can't keep," the doctor said. Tom nodded. Carol held his hand. She held it so hard she left marks. Back in Millhaven, Tom moved through the next year the way a man moves through chest-deep water. Everything was possible in theory and exhausting in practice. He couldn't stand in line at the hardware store. He'd get there, see the people packed in at the register, and turn around and leave. He stopped going to the VFW hall on Thursday nights, even though his own grandfather's photo was up on that wall, even though men who had known his family for 3 generations were in there playing cards. He couldn't watch the news. He put the TV in the garage. He got up every night between 3 and 4 in the morning and sat in the dark in the kitchen. Carol would come down sometimes and find him there, hands wrapped around a coffee cup, staring at the window like there was something outside he was waiting for that never came. He didn't say much about it. That was the thing. He wasn't dramatic. He wasn't loud. He was just very, very quiet in a way that took up all the air in a room. His daughter Beth's boy, Danny, was 7 years old that winter. Danny had Tom's same dark hair, cut short, and a gap in his front teeth from a lost tooth he was very proud of. One Saturday morning, Danny came down early and found Tom at the kitchen table. He climbed up in the chair across from him without being asked. "Grandpa, are you scared of something?" Tom looked at the boy for a long moment. "Sometimes," Tom said. "Me too," Danny said. "I'm scared of the dark drain in the bathtub." Tom looked at him. Then something happened in his face. It wasn't a smile exactly. It was more like something very tight, going very slightly loose. "That's a reasonable thing to be scared of," Tom said. "Yeah," said Danny. He reached across and put his small hand on Tom's big one. "You want some cereal?" Tom told me later that he sat with that moment for days. A 7-year-old had asked him a question no adult had asked directly, and he had answered it honestly, and nothing bad had happened. The world did not end. The boy just wanted cereal. He called the VA that Monday morning. The doctors had said he would likely never run. They said walking was the goal. Walking without a cane by year 2 was optimistic. Tom set his alarm for 5 in the morning and drove to the high school track. He walked 2 laps. That was it. He came home and slept for 2 hours. He went back the next day. There is a kind of stubbornness in a man from that part of Ohio that isn't something you can teach. It's in the soil, I think. In the gray winters. in the way those towns keep going long after the fake. The sign said, "Grandpa is not scared anymore." That wasn't completely true, Tom told me later. He was still scared of some things. Loud noises, crowds, the news. Some of that might stay with him, but he crossed that line, and he stood on the other side of it. And Carol put her arms around him, and he let her, really let her, for the first time in a long time. Danny ran out from the crowd and grabbed his leg. "You did it," the boy said. "Yeah," said Tom. "We did." I've thought about Tom a lot since that day. I think about the kitchen floor. I think about a 7-year-old and a bowl of cereal. I think about how sometimes the smallest question, asked without fear, can open a door that nothing else could reach. Tom didn't beat anything. He just kept showing up. Turns out that's enough. If this story touched you, please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave your own story in the comments below and subscribe to Soul Relief Stories, because there are more people like Tom out there, and every one of them deserves to be remembered.